For the button. Gates fly, they're racing in the Dubai World Cup. Prince Bishop from the inside began awkwardly. Red Godolphin went back shortly after the break. Akeed Mafid, African Story, and Mukhadram came out very quickly, with Mukhadram tearing across from the outside, looking for the lead as they race past the judge the first time and go to the mile marker. Paul Hannigan took Mukhadram to the front. Hoko Tayumihi walked up to second. African Story is third, and Ruler of the World fourth as they make the turn out of the straight. Akeed Mafid settles on the rail. A length away, Ron the Greek, three wide on the outside of Surfer. Then San Shorewes, Belshazzar on the rail. 3/4 of a length to Side Glance on the outside of Military Attack. A length away, Hill Star, then Cat of Mountain, Vancouverite. Red Godolphin is second last, and Prince Bishop 2.5 lengths away at the tail of the field. Mukhadram took them through the first quarter in 25.7, the first 800 metres in 49.9. Mukhadram down the back of the track, 3 parts of a length in front. Hoko Tayumihi has moved to second. African Story third. Ron the Greek's fourth. He's covering extra ground. Ruler of the World in the middle. A length away is Surfer being shoved along. Then Akeed Mafid, San Shorewes, Side Glance, 3 deep. Followed by Military Attack, Cat of Mountain, Belshazzar. Hill Star well back with Vancouverite, Red Godolphin, and Prince Bishop is last of all. Mukhadram led on the turn. 450 metres left to go in the great race. Mukhadram in front. African Story into the clear, moves to second. Ruler of the World under pressure. And Akeed Mafid on the fence, nothing else running on. African Story and Mukhadram. It's a Dubai Quinella. African Story's taken the lead. Mukhadram battling back, but African Story in the blue of Godolphin is forging clear, and African Story wins the Dubai World Cup. African Story beat Mukhadram. Cat of Mountain got up to run third. Then Side Glance, Akeed Mafid, and Red Godolphin. San Shorewes, Vancouverite, Belshazzar, Prince Bishop, Military Attack, Ron the Greek, Surfer, Hoko Tayumihi, Ruler of the World, and Hill Star were the last pair to slow to a walk.
African Story is the winner of the 2014 Emirates Airline Dubai World Cup and provides trainer Saeed bin Surour with a 6th win in the world's richest race under the hands of Silvestre De Sousa, who is allowed to stand up in the irons and salute victory, having beaten Mukhadram into second place, who set up much of the running. Third was Cato Mountain, very close for the minor honours. Red Godolphin was pretty close up as well, but that's another winner of the world's richest race in the royal blue of Godolphin. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum here to enjoy the victory again. The last time these victories were carried to victory was, of course, Monterosso 2 years ago, when Mikhail Barcelona was in the plate. And a very similar looking victory, a real easy success there, Laura King. African Story winning the big one.
Tapita form is Tapita formed, and this horse had that. We know he was so unlucky when we saw him 2 starts ago in Maktoum Challenge round 2 behind Prince Bishop. He couldn't get out. If he'd have got out, he might have won the race. I think Silvestre De Sousa was probably ruining his luck a little bit coming into this. As we said earlier on, the horse had had the incident at the stalls last time where he needed stitches after banging his head. He'd been unlucky the time before. Silvestre felt that he deserved this.
Banging his head in the gate, but he's just proven he's the boy.
This is the world's richest race. You ride for Godolphin. What's going through your mind? What was going through your mind when you crossed the finish line?
So I did it. So we did it. So it's the whole team. It's not only me. So it's Saeed and Brian, the assistant trainer. So the walk riders, it's everybody involved. You know, it's amazing. It's just a team effort. So I had a bit of hard-looking story early on through the races, but he just saved the night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brilliant scenes here at Meydan as African Story provides Silvestre De Sousa with the biggest victory of his career, and in a track record time, 2 minutes 1.62 seconds, and that takes around a second off that by, in fact, 4 seconds of Victoire Pisa, who won it on 2:05.94. Monterosso the closest to this victory here, but just proving that tonight the track is riding very, very quick. And this horse, Laura, unexposed over this distance, that could have been the key part in this victory, I think.
Well, of course, it was fifth in the race last year when Godolphin surprised everyone, really. We thought he would go back for the Godolphin mile that, of course, he won before. I think he's the first horse to win the Godolphin mile and then come on and win the Dubai World Cup. In fact, I'm sure he is. I'm so delighted with Silvestre. He's absolutely lovely. And this will mean a lot to him. Okay, he's leading jockey at the Carnival. He's had a good season, but this is the biggest win of his career by far. He joins Mikel Barcelona now, but now both Godolphin jockeys have won a World Cup, which is superb. And so he's the nicest guy you could meet, isn't he? And there's Tommy Burns, who's absolutely delighted, does all of the travelling, of course, with the Godolphin horses. And this horse is going to be absolutely mobbed when he comes back in. Luckily, he seems to have a really good constitution. He seems very straightforward. We saw him just before the race, just standing there. Sylvester's just sort of sitting on him. He's got a loose rein. The horse is no trouble at all. And it's a superb victory, because we hadn't had a Godolphin winner up until now. They were unlucky perhaps earlier on with the incident with Cavalryman in the Gold Cup. And they're going into quite a cauldron, I'd say. Everybody is absolutely delighted to see a win in the big one for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. And it just shows you need to run through the carnival, don't you, really, I think, to win this. So there are a lot in there, whether they didn't handle it. Military attack.
A fine run from Mukhadram, a great ride by Paul Hannigan. Very similar to when he got beaten in the Prince of Wales by Al Kazim. He was out in front and just got headed on the line. He was beaten a bit further on this occasion, but it nearly paid off. It was a real bold, confident ride aboard Mukhadram for Paul Hannigan, and nearly came home in front. As I said, Catamountain, a solid run from that horse in third. Sideglance was fourth, sitting in exactly the same position as 12 months ago. Akeed Mafid was fifth, and Red Caddo again in the money. Not as good as last year, but he still gets some good prize money in sixth position.
It's great to see this. Godolphin already leading owners, of course, in this race. And this horse came through their French channels, formerly trained by Andre Fabre, bred by His Highness's Dali operation. So he's totally homegrown. And he's really proved to be a very effective horse here in Dubai, where he's returning now for a third season.
That's quite right. There's Michael Dickinson on the right-hand side, the inventor of the Tapita service, which, as we said, has come in for a lot of criticism over the last few days. And Michael, quite rightly, sort of keeping zipped and not commenting, and understandably. But this is a bit of a sort of, well, Tapita's not that bad at all, is it? And there's Saeed bin Shaul, the winning trainer, who last won this with Electrocutionist back in 2006.
Very different sort of horse, Electrocutionist, wasn't he? Came from Italy. This one's taken from France. He actually is getting a little wound up, I think, by all the noise. Said I didn't think he would, because he does seem to be a really laid-back sort of horse. Delighted for Saeed as well. He's been the mainstay, the linchpin of the Godolphin operation right since its inception in the early 1990s. He's a really nice man, isn't he? He'll never sort of run away from you if you want to speak to him. He's very helpful, and this will mean a lot to him to do this on home turf. And where will they go next with this horse, I wonder? They might consider a run at Royal Ascot, I would have thought, would be the first thing on their agenda. That's what they did, I think, with Monterosso.
It's interesting because when, of course, he ran in the Dubai World Cup last year, having won the Burs Nahar, he didn't run in England at all, did he? And I'm not sure whether he stayed in Dubai. I'm guessing he probably did. Don't quote me, of course, but he hasn't run. And, you said Maidan form is, they've obviously sort of just kept him for the Carnival. But now he's won this, will they decide to go and conquer the UK and win some major races? Of course, he has got winning form on the turf as well. Most horses that handle the Tapita do go well on the green stuff. Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum congratulating Sheikh Mohammed. And there's Charlie Appleby as well. Had a look with the runners from his yard, but of course Catamountain faring best of his duo.
I'd say you'd be absolutely delighted with Catamountain, who, is just a handicap winner coming into this. To train a third in your first crack at the World Cup isn't bad at all, is it? And I echo your sentiments about Mukhadram. That was a cracking run from him. When African Story drew level with him, he really tried to battle back for a stride or two, but having made the early running from that wide gate, he just didn't have enough left in the closing stages. And well done to everyone connected with Shadwell.
And a 1, 2, 3 for the Al Maktoum family, of course. Godolphin 1 and 3, and Mukhadram, as we said, second in the colours of Sheikh Hamdan.
So it sort of rounds off our international evening, doesn't it? The UAE trainers bookended the card, Abu Dhabi, picking up the Arabians World Cup, of course, earlier on with Rabat Carrera, and now Godolphin getting their winner on the night, as we heard, been a little bit unlucky earlier on maybe with Cavalryman, with Silvestre. He probably thought, oh, maybe it's just not my night, as this horse has been ridden to perfection by the Brazilian jockey, and lovely shots there of our Dubai World Cup winner for 2014.
We should say, I think if Paul Roberts is watching, well done Paul, because I think Paul's been riding this horse in a lot of work. I was talking to him yesterday, and a big well done to all of the team there. Ian Driscoll as well. All of the team at the Alcor stables. It was a bit of a rather disappointing night for them so far, wasn't it, with, of course, Cavalryman just going down in the Dubai Gold Cup.
I'm pretty sure they won't mind that so much now, though. Now that they've picked up the big one. Usually, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed presents the trophy.
I would imagine Sheikh Hamdan will probably do that job now,
yeah. To His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, which is going to be great. So here's a look at the closing stages. And there's Mukhadram. This is when he's actually just not given him a bump as such, has he? But he's just shifted out there.
In fact, they're both the first and second are really wandering around, aren't they?
They are, and they've pulled quite a long way clear of the third.
African Story, actually, Laura, I mean, has hung quite, well, not only has he hung, but he's drifted quite significantly across that stand side rail. I know Silvestre De Sousa had his stick in his right hand. He didn't impede Mukhadram at all, but he's certainly not kept a straight line at all. Had that been the case, maybe he would have won by even further. 2 3/4 lengths is the official winning margin, and as we said, in track record time as well. Laura is going to leave us now and try. I don't know who she's going to try and get, but she's going to have her with someone if she possibly can. It wouldn't be World Cup night unless there's not an annual interview with Sheikh Mohammed conducted by Laura. As we said, a very good ride by Paul Hannigan aboard Mukhadram. It nearly paid off, but this horse had the fitness edge, possibly, and that may have told its own tale with African Story winning this race. It would have been a pretty decent price each way, I would have thought, in the UK. Stephen Molyneux is back with me. What sort of price are we talking?
Yeah, he was about 16 to 1, so relatively unconsidered after that last run where there were plenty of excuses. I was down at the start for that third round of the Maktoum Challenge, said straight afterwards that he smashed his head on the gate just before the start, but no such problems down there today. There again, and he was probably one of only 3 or 4 that hadn't sweated up at all. There were quite a few in a muck sweat beforehand, but great to see Silvestre De Sousa win. Apparently he was absolutely mortified after the defeat of Cavalryman earlier in the card, and another race on tonight where we've only seen 2 really feature. There was nothing else that could land a blow.
They appeared to go a pretty consistent gallop as well. Paul Hannigan up front there on Mukhadram. I don't think anybody can blame the lack of pace in the race. It appeared to be pretty fair, pretty level. And I don't think there were really any hard luck stories for any of the contenders. That's a great scene. Really well done to Silvestre. As Laura said, he's a real genuinely nice bloke to chat to. Very down to earth. And you can just see how much that means to him. He's won the world's richest race, the World Cup. This is the contest that every owner, trainer, jockey wants to win. And there have only so far been 19 of them.
Yeah, it's a fairly rare commodity. It's official, they've weighed in. But great scenes in the winners' enclosure as Laura edges closer to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. Hopefully she can get in there and get an interview. But fantastic 1, 2, 3 for Dubai. It's been a fairly quiet night for them, but this really caps it off in brilliant style.
And we were saying how busy it is, it was in the parade ring before this race. The winners' enclosure is absolutely full to the brim. You cannot get one more person in there. It's amazing scenes. You just don't get to witness things like this anywhere else in the world. This means so much to the local racegoers when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed is responsible for the winning owner, and he's dancing around the winners in front. We've not got a... There we are, we're going to get a shot of it now.
I've never felt an atmosphere like this since Dubai Millennium in here. I've been here several occasions, and of course it helps that Godolphin win. It really gets the crowd going, but fantastic performance by African Story, and I suspect he's the first Godolphin mile to win a Godolphin mile winner
yeah.
to win a Dubai Curl subsequently.
I should think he probably is, yeah. Beautiful shots there, as you can see from our aerial camera.
Time now for the trophy presentation for the world's richest horse race, the magnificent.
Zooming in there on the winners' enclosure, the coveted winner's spot here at Meydan. And it's a Godolphin winner of the Emirates Airline Dubai World Cup. Run for the 5th time here at Meydan. First in 2010, Gloria de Campio winning it. Victoire Pisa, Monterosso and Animal Kingdom last year. And this was coming home in front to score for Silvestre De Sousa. As we take a look at the trophy presentation being made to the winning connections, this horse in the all blue of Godolphin. There were 4 runners representing the operation, 3 of them in the blue of Godolphin, one of them in, of course, the green of Shaikh Hamdan, that of Prince Bishop. He ran very, very disappointingly, actually. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum receiving the trophy from his brother, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum, himself a winner of this race twice before with Infasor and Al Mutawakkal. And Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum as well, soaking up the atmosphere. Great scenes here at Meydan. Very, very unique, something you will very rarely experience in any other sporting event, and certainly in any other race meeting in the world. And Silvestre De Sousa, the winning jockey, partnered far to victory in the Kipco British Champion Stakes at Ascot last October. That was his biggest success for Godolphin up until now. And Sheikh Mohammed understandably ecstatic, along with all of the crowd here who love to see a Godolphin win. Of course, Silvestre De Sousa, the leading jockey at this year's Dubai World Cup Carnival, along with trainer Saeed bin Surour, capping a marvellous campaign for the Alpos operation. Silvestre's first Group 1 came aboard Hunter's Lights over in Italy 2 years ago. Another victory at the highest level for his boss, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and lifting up the Emirates trophy for the World Cup. The 19th horse's name to be added onto that list, but arguably the most popular horse to have won the World Cup in the Godolphin Blue before this would have been Dubai Millennium, back in the year 2000 when Frankie Dettori was in the plate and the roof literally came off the grandstand at Nad Al Sheba. Fabulous scenes there on the day. There's Frank Gabriel, the Chief Executive Officer of the Dubai Racing Club, who departs these shores next month, being an integral part in the success of Meydan. Came here in 2004 from Arlington Park and has just seen Meydan come to what it is. And Silvestre De Sousa lifts the trophy almost as big as him. I don't know how long he'll be strong enough to hold it for. He gets a cheer from the crowd as well. Syed Al-Tayr, the chairman of the Dubai Racing Club, also there. And Abdul Rahman Amin, the Dubai Racing Channel commentator for the Arabic side of our channel. Fabulous scenes here at Meydan as we enjoy the UAE national anthem.
Sorry?
Have we got anything? Who's that? There we are, the UAE national anthem, and yes, there are Silvestre De Sousa's children and his wife. Very proud children and wife, of course. Well done to the Brazilian rider, who was based over in Ireland when he very first came over to Europe from Brazil. He went to Dermot Wild's yard and was really struggling for rides, and he crossed over to the UK and he rode a lot for David Nichols, and gradually worked hard, got his head down, teamed up with Mark Johnston, and rode plenty of winners in the silks of Shaikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum. He's very near champion jockey as well in the UK.
Mark and Deirdre Johnson were actually in the winners' enclosure to greet him. It's very much a team effort, isn't it,
yeah.
Mark, with trains a lot of the nursery horses, as does Andre Fabre, of course, in France, who I believe, did he have this horse to begin with, African
He did,
Story?
yeah. Andre Fabre here today. Andre sort of played an integral role of the last few years of sort of bringing youngsters on before they go on to either Charlie Appleby or Saeed bin Surour. Really is a melee there, as you can see in the winners' enclosure. Sheikh Mohammed just right in the centre there. Laura King is out there. We will try and get a word with him, or somebody if possible. But as you can understand, it's very, very difficult because everybody wants to get a word with the man himself, the ruler of Dubai. And understandably, security pretty high, but we've got a great fireworks display now. So there we are. It's just